Guitar frustrations. It's a rite of passage to becoming a competent player. Here are 10 mistakes beginner guitarists make and their fixes. Number 1, too much pick. I see a lot of beginners with loads of pick sticking out of their fingers, which means they fumble or catch or miss strings that they're aiming to pick or strum. And a lot of the time, this is the reason why picks disappear into the sound hole. Absolute classic. Hold your pick with your index finger and thumb at a right angle to your arm. This will enable you to get closer to the strings and pull back when you need to. So it gives you a lot more control. If you watch a pro guitarist, they will differ how they hold their pick depending on the feel, style and genre that they're playing. A riff, for example, you will have less pick sticking out. If you're wanting to do some big open strums and you want some nice rake sounds in there, then you're gonna have a lot more pick sticking out. In the beginning, keep it somewhere in the middle. 1, 2, 3 fingers. Putting your fingers down one at a time for each chord. This takes way longer, and once you start playing chord sequences, it'll really slow you down. Once you've learned the chord shape, the next step is to land it in one go. So that is a great exercise. Practicing, going into a chord all at the same time. Even better is when you change between chord shapes, shift in the air. One fluid movement, ready to land the next one. Even if you are practicing just the left hand or your fretting hand, if you're left-handed, that is a fantastic practice. Number 3, the static thumb. This is where the thumb stays rooted in one position even when we're moving up the fretboard. So I might have been playing a G chord, then I might play a D chord, I might go to play a bar chord, but look, my thumb is still here, and then I might try and play a pentatonic scale, but my thumb is still here. So what we need to do is take the thumb with us. The thumb has to come with us. We need to move our shape. This all moves together. It creates a stable foundation for what we're doing at the front. So if I've been playing a G chord here, my thumb's there. If I then go to a bar chord, I'm going to take my thumb. It's now central to what I'm doing. We've got this nice framework. If I move up here, I'm taking my thumb with me. So if I now play my pentatonic scale, my thumb's here, not here. Pinky rejection. Finger independence is hugely important. We need to share the load and use different fingers to make our playing more efficient. It's okay playing crazy train with one finger in the beginning while you're getting used to it, but after a time that's really going to start slowing you down. So in order to build your efficiency, we need to start training other fingers to accommodate other frets. That will boost how smooth and fluent you work your way around the guitar. The bonus of having an extra finger to use is massive. It will feel like you have no control over that pinky in the beginning, and it'll feel easier to not use it, but the more you incorporate it when it's relevant, it will start to feel normal. D to D sus4 is a really common chord transition, so start working your pinky by trying that out. Unless you're not able to use your pinky for physical reasons, you should start training it. Speed obsession. Focus on accuracy first and speed second. Forget about speeding through 7 Nation Army at the speed of the record if you can't make a clean sounding power chord shape and move them up the neck without losing position. If your power chords sound awesome and you can jump from the 7th fret to the 10th fret without slipping the shape, then it's time to push it quicker. The high thumb. You will see seasoned guitarists hanging their thumbs over the top of the fretboard. This may be to fret a note to actually play it to ring out as part of a chord, or it may be that they're trying to mute something while they're playing another chord. But if you're playing a scale, or you're playing a chord that has a bit more of a stretch, like a power chord or a bar chord, then the high thumb becomes a hindrance, because what it does, as you can see there, is it flattens my fingers towards the bottom of the strings here, and it also forces them to squeeze together. So there's a real fine line of when to bring your thumb up high. Some chords your thumb's better off down low, like a D chord, and if you're playing something like a spider exercise, if your thumb's up high, you will never get the clearance of the notes for that. So keep the thumb low to keep the arch of the fingers. Once you've nailed your foundations, as in keep your thumb a bit lower, then start playing around with your thumb position. Avoiding string changes. Not learning to change your strings is okay while you're building your confidence as a new guitarist. But once you've been playing a bit, as a rite of passage, you should learn to change your own strings. Yes, it can get overwhelming. What gauge, what brand, what material, how much should you spend? We've also all messed up at some point. We've all put a brand new string on and turned it too tight and broken the string. You are rarely going to do that again, because it never leaves your memory. So once you've kind of done that and you've changed your strings a few times, it gets so much quicker and you'll be thankful that you learned how to do it. There are many videos on YouTube showing you how to change your guitar strings. Back of the fret, putting your fingers in the middle or back of the fret. The most effective place on a fret you can put your fingers is right next to the wire, not on it, but right behind it. The fret is where the strings cut off to create the note, so the closer you are, the less likely you are to get excess movement in the string that creates the buzzing sound. This is especially important information on the first fret, because the nut creates extra tension on the string and you have to work a lot harder to press the first fret down. There are some situations where you can't avoid being a little bit further back, such as an A chord. That top finger can not get as close to the fret as the others, but you just need to press it down a little bit harder and squeeze the fingers in together. Where possible, get as close to the fret as you can. It will lessen the chances of fret buzz. And increase the chance of a clean note. You won't have to put as much pressure on the string either, and your fingers will thank you when you're 30 minutes into a practice session. Lack of practice. I see often that guitar students don't practice between lessons. This effectively means that we are almost starting from scratch at the beginning of each lesson. Progress is made with regular practice, repetitions. Practice, have a break, sleep on it, process it, practice again. If you do this for 6 months with a consistent routine, I guarantee you will see good progress and you'll be extremely happy with your new guitar prowess. If you don't practice, don't be upset with the fact that you can't change from the C chords to the G chord still in 5 weeks' time. Flat bar. Talking bar chords here, if I'm playing a bar chord and my index finger, my barring finger, is playing flat, straight facing forwards, what we're going to fall into is an issue with the amount of pressure we can put on the strings to hold them down, and also the positioning of the joints in the fingers. Where the creases are in those joints often sit on a string. So we do have to move our fingers around to find the optimum position, but one good tip for this is to angle your finger slightly on its side away from you, because what this does is helps you to get adequate pressure, miss out the creases over the strings in order to get a clean sound. So roll the finger slightly to the side to play the bar. This is often a game changer. In this video, I talk you through how to learn guitar in 2025. I'll see you next time.